everyone. This is our episode 2 of Dhi Atman Show. And just to give some background to our viewers, that we are going to review 2 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and they are the Karma Yoga and the devotional service. And just to give a background, like Pandavas who lost their wealth and kingdom in a game of dice, and they were tricked by Kauravas, and basically, but that was not the only reason, as we discussed in episode 1. And there was jealousy and other things, and Lord Krishna comes to the side of Arjuna, and then he guides him to fight the battle to establish dharma. So with that, I will hand over to Gayatri. She's going to introduce herself and let me know if the introduction was okay.
Oh yes, but there's one point where you say that Krishna took the side of Arjuna. No, Krishna gave the choice to both Arjuna and which we discussed earlier in the previous Duryodhan. Arjuna chose Krishna.
Okay.
Duryodhan chose Narayani army.
Yeah. So Duryodhan chose Narayani army, and Arjuna chose Krishna. Okay, sorry.
That's fine.
All right. So let's go and review our first chapter, Karma Yoga. In other words, actually Arjuna, he wanted to skillfully avoid the fighting by using Krishna conscious as an excuse. In answer, Lord Krishna elaborately explained Karma Yoga, or work in Krishna conscious. So there are many different paths were explained, such as Shankar Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligent work without fruitative desire. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, actually when you say Karma Yoga, there are lots of different types of yoga as explained. But we as normal human beings, in our day-to-day life, the various yogas explained in this cannot be practiced by you and me. It is practiced by people who have reached a certain level of Krishna consciousness or whatever. But what we should discuss is how we could apply this Karma Yoga in our daily lives. You see, we cannot say that we are Karma Yogis by just sitting and meditating, and that's not. Karma Yoga means you have to do, continue doing your actions. If you are a housewife, what is your karma?
To make sure that the household is functioning properly, and the kids are educated well, and they're everybody is emotionally stable and things like that.
Yeah. So every human being has a particular karma towards himself and towards others. That is what is the basis of Karma Yoga. Like rishis and all reach a very high level of consciousness, that they can just sit and meditate, and that is their yoga, because they have given up everything. They have what should I say, released themselves from the bondage of, say, marriage, family. But you and me and the arm janta, as we say, we cannot do that. We can't say that, oh, now I am a Karma Yogi, I will not do anything. I'll sit quietly in my room and I'll be meditating and praying. That is not Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is whatever day-to-day life that you have to do it in the best of your ability. That is the Karma Yoga for you and me. And as a housewife, I won't say just housewives, children also have a Karma Yoga. Husbands have, your office boss has. Everybody in their own field, they are doing their own karmas. And basically Karma Yoga is do your action in the perfect way without expecting anything. Means if you do your karma properly, the results automatically get back to you.
Alright, so moving on to the next one, they say that Shankar Yoga, or the analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter, is the subject matter for person who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. So, principles of Buddhi Yoga or Krishna conscious, one can be relieved from the bonds of action, and furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. And in this way, all the senses can be brought under control very easily. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the super self. Krishna conscious is itself the purifying process, and by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime. So, Krishna conscious is basically you're trying to purify your senses, right? Okay. According to empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyasas or retiring from fruitative activities, one one at once becomes a good Narayana. But Lord Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of heart, sannyasa is simply a disturbance to the social order. So basically, you cannot just become sannyasi.
Yes. You see, there is a very interesting story of a gentleman. He was a householder, a husband. He was fed up of day to day life, like going to the office, taking care of his family. So one fine day he says, I'm taking sannyasa, I'm going to become a sannyasi. But what did he do? He forgot that his karma was towards his family. He left his wife and children high and dry, and that poor lady had to, she started doing her karma, whereas his karma, he didn't fulfill it. Now he just walked away from what he was actually supposed to do. So
But then, remember in episode 1, we say, okay, family life is material bondage and you should walk away. No?
no.
Uh-huh.
No. You cannot walk away from any bondage. And family life, why should you call it a bondage?
Acha.
It is not a bondage, isn't it? Once a person gets married, you have certain responsibilities towards your family, your household, your children. That is all. You can't walk away. So that is what it says, that Krishna does not approve of sannyasa. You have to attain a certain level of mental equilibrium to become a sannyasi. You can't just say, okay, today, tomorrow I'm walking away from everything and I'm going to be a sannyasa. Sannyasi or sannyasin.
So basically, like, you have to fulfill your karma and
Yes.
whatever,
Whatever
form you are doing,
situation
you
you are
and
in.
then you can.
Yes, if you are in the office, you have a karma towards your work, towards the people around you. Everything should be done in a moderate way. You don't have to, like people throw tantrums, all that. Just take life in a
Middle path.
middle path.
Don't get too happy, don't get too sad.
Yes.
As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in good work of Krishna conscious. Otherwise, it will be engaged in occupations dictated by illusory energy. In contact with material energy, the spirit soul acquires material modes, and to purify the soul from such affinities, it is necessary to engage in the prescribed duties enjoined in Shastras. So, the purification process is necessary for reaching the point of Krishna consciousness. So, how do you purify your Krishna to become Krishna consciousness? How do you purify your senses?
See, there are, for that kind of purification, I think you really need to have a guru.
Oh,
A guru will guide you. Like if you have a guru, he or she will guide you into that process of purification. For that, I think one has to reach a certain level of mental, what should I say? You need to want to be like that. It's very difficult for you and me to attain that kind of level because we are still bound by our, what should I say, like
karma.
not karma. we have our bondage with our family, our children, our desires. So, if you have to reach that level, you should learn to
Let go of
let go of all those things and then go on to a higher level. And for that, definitely, you need a guru. It's just by reading scriptures.
So where do we get guru?
I have heard that when that stage comes, you will get the guru will appear.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
It may not
You
be.
don't need to search anyone.
Not. I won't say don't need to search, but that guru might appear in. You might get your guru in your Gita.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like now, see, we are just reading and trying to understand and explain it to each other.
Yeah.
Okay. But I feel if you go on reading the Gita, the guru will appear by itself within the pages of the Gita, you know. I think so.
Okay.
And
Do you think Vivekananda was a guru?
Vivekananda was a great spiritual guru.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So to get him as a guru, someone maybe, if he's incarnated somewhere, find him as
No,
a
you
guru.
don't need to.
Because he's dead, right?
No, he is physically dead, but all his teachings are there. You can keep reading. The more you read these spiritual books and texts, you will automatically get attracted to a guru. Like in today's world, I think Sadguru is a very
Guru.
I know what do you say, divine person. He was a very ordinary man, but he searched and searched for his inner consciousness and he connected with the ultimate. And now he is, a guru. So for that, you and I, we should never stop striving to look for a guru. Like I personally, for me, my guru is Lord Krishna, but Lord Krishna is, what should I say, comes in different forms. For me, my guru is Shirdi Sai Baba.
Okay.
Okay. And I have great faith in Shirdi Baba. And in Shirdi Baba, I see Lord Krishna. You see what I mean? So we have to, that's why in Hinduism, there's no any particular this thing. There are different ways to get to that path, Many people do fasts, many people go on pilgrimage, many people do rites and rituals. Everybody is trying to find some way to get to that level of consciousness.
Okay. All right. So moving ahead, the prime Swartha Gati or goal of self-interest is to reach Vishnu. The whole institution of Varna and Asrama is designed to help us reach the goal of life. A householder can also reach the destination by regulated service and Krishna conscious. For self-realization, one can live a controlled life as prescribed in the Shastras and continue carrying out his business without attachment. So Lord Krishna did not want Arjuna to become a pretender, but that he performed his prescribed duties as set forth of Kshatriyas.
Yeah.
Work should not be given capriciously without purification of materialistic propensity. Anyone who is in the material world is certainly possessed by impure propensity of lording it over material nature, or in other words, of sense gratification. Such polluted propensities have to be cleared. Without doing so through prescribed duties, one should never attempt to become so-called transcendentalist, renouncing work and living at the cost of others.
Yes.
Yeah. So means you still have to earn your living, and you have
Yes.
to still feed your family and feed yourself, but without the result, without thinking about the result, and without the attachment, you should keep doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doing your duty. What is karma is a duty. And I think some of the major karma yogis, I would say, are mothers. They do things for their children selflessly. A mother will care for her child or children selflessly, she doesn't expect anything back from them. Another karma yogi are the gurus. The gurus just guide you. They don't expect you to give them anything. Even caregivers. You see, all these in all these old age homes and all that, there are these caregivers who take care of the old people so well. You know, I won't say all of them do, but most of them, what can that old person give them back? But they take care of them, even like say doctors, nurses. They are all great karma yogis, teachers. Gurus are teachers. They also, every year they teach children. What do they expect from them? Nothing. They are just imparting, their knowledge and guiding them through life.
Okay, sure. So let's
Even this welfare schemes that they have, those are also, people do charity, dan. That is also karma yogi, na? Like there are so many rich people who donate and give so much of their things to people without expecting anything back.
Okay. So basically, this okay. And the other thing they said that there are different performance of yajnas or yagnas. I don't know.
Yagnas.
Yeah, has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from the material bondage. By performance of yajnas, all activities become purified. The aim of life is attained by performing yajnas. If you forget the purpose of human life and simply take supplies from the agents of the Lord for sense gratification and become more and more entangled in material existence, which is not the purpose of creation, certainly we could become thieves and therefore we punish by the laws of material nature. Means what he is telling is like whatever we are taking, like food from the soil or wind or fire, we should perform yajnas to be thankful.
Yes.
Is it correct?
Yagnas, I would say, everybody, there are people who do havans regularly. There are people who don't do anything. But doesn't mean that the person who does havan is more, more closer to God than somebody who doesn't do,
But at least we should be thankful.
Yes, attitude of gratitude. Thankful for everything that we have. See, we have materialistically, all of us have everything. Food. You have to just look on the other side and see somebody who doesn't have.
Yeah.
Then you realize, my God, how thankful we are. We are thankful for even the human birth. Thankful for having been born in a good family. All these things, basically as a human being, one has to be thankful. The attitude of gratitude is very, very important.
So he also said the yajna, how it is called, I don't even know the pronunciation. The yajna system is planned in such a way that sensory conscious person may satisfy their desire without becoming entangled in the reaction of sense gratification work. So basically he's telling that you should be Krishna conscious and you should not enjoy the sensory benefits or maybe detached with the sensory benefits.
Detachment. You should not be so attached to anything, whether it's your children, your food, your comforts, material comforts. The lesser you have desires, the lesser you have expectations from people and material things, that is a form of yagna itself. I think it is my personal
Perspective.
perspective.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So, due to being Krishna conscious, all impurity within is instantly cleansed, an effect of many thousands of yajna performance. By such clearing of conscious, one becomes fully confident of the eternal position in relationship with the Supreme.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's move on to our next chapter, the devotional service. So, I just want to read and then you can talk about that. Krishna has now explained about the personal, the impersonal, universal, and has described all kind of devotees and yogis. Generally, the transcendentalists can be divided into two classes. One is the impersonalist and the other is personalist. The personalist devotee engage himself with all energy in the service of Supreme Lord, but the impersonalist engage himself not directly in the service of Krishna but in meditation on the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested one. This is like little bit deep. So personalist means like there is a statue of Lord Krishna and you do devotion and you can help like do a social service. But impersonalist, you don't do devotion and you meditate. Is that the thing? Or am I thinking wrong?
What is the which
so-
is the
So the impersonalist engage himself not directly in service of Krishna, but in meditation on the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. We need to maybe
that's a little high
end, right?
high end.
Maybe we need
Yeah,
someone else.
we need a guru to explain
Explain
yeah.
that, okay.
But my take
Yes.
take on this yoga of devotion.
Mhm.
We are lay people. I mean, you and I, we are ordinary, human beings who live our lives as well as we can. So we also, what should I say, devote a certain time to prayer. Some people, find work in, they even work is prayer for them. So there are some people who, even while they are working, they go on chanting the Lord's name. So to attain that kind of relationship with the Almighty, each one has a personal way of doing it. Like you may be getting up in the morning, perform a certain ritual. Somebody else may be doing something else. So each one has a personal way of, attaining attaining that kind
Krishna
of
consciousness.
Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
But Krishna consciousness is a very high level.
Actually, I also did Buddhism, so even Buddhism has something high level, like enlightenment.
Yes.
So maybe Krishna consciousness
Is
is
some-
relative to enlightenment. And
Enlightenment.
it is not so easy to get enlightened.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all to get enlightened, to reach that level for lay people like us. But we can improve our day-to-day lives by getting more spiritual, basically by not, reducing our desires. The less desires we have, the easier it is for us to, go up towards that enlightenment,
Basically detachment.
detachment.
Okay. All right. So he says after Shri Krishna has stated, after many births, the man of wisdom seeks refuge in me, knowing Vasudev as all. When a person comes to full knowledge after many births, he surrenders unto Lord Krishna. If one approaches the Godhead by the method mentioned in the verse, he has to control the senses, rendered service to everyone, and engage in the welfare of all beings. So, so you have to surrender yourself, and it takes many births, basically.
Yeah. That is true. Like the very fact that you and I are sitting here, sorry, discussing this means that we have reached a certain level of consciousness to be able to even think of doing a podcast like this. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't
True,
it?
True.
Huh. I would ask you if any of your friends even thought of it. No, I don't think so. But it came within you. So obviously you have reached a certain level of, consciousness to even think of doing something like this. To be aware of
Yeah.
this.
Thing like
Yeah.
For me, it was like more like of an awareness. Like if I'm aware, let me make others aware.
Yes. That is what we should do always, Make people aware that whatever we have, sorry, whatever we have is all due to our previous births, karma. That is why we tell our children also do good deeds, because the baggage that we carry from our previous life is what makes us now what we are,
Okay.
the good and the bad. See, good and bad things keep happening to every individual. So sometimes you can't understand that what have I done to deserve all this. It's actually the baggage of your bad karma in your previous life, you know. So you have to learn to overcome that. And for that you need to trust and have faith in God.
Okay. The group of transcendentalists who follow the path of inconceivable, unmanifested, impersonal feature of Supreme Lord are called Jnana Yogis, and persons who are in full Krishna conscious engaged in devotional service to the called are Bhakti Yogis. Now here the difference between Jnana Yogi and Bhakti Yoga is definitely expressed. The process of Jnana Yoga, although ultimately bringing one to same goal, is very troublesome, whereas path of Bhakti Yoga, the process of being direct service to Supreme Lord of Godhead, is easier and is natural for the embodied soul. The individual soul is embodied since time and immemorial. It is very difficult for him to theoretically understand that he is not the body. So basically, like, and worship of the deity in the temple is saguna worship for the Lord is presented by material quantities. So I just want to, like devotional service, like you do bhakti and you can see the Krishna, like you go to ISKCON temple and you can see all that. But lot of why other people say that stone worship is not good or idol worship is not good. Why some people say like that?
That is, I think, they don't have that. You see, when you worship an idol,
Yeah.
you see God in that. So when hundreds, millions of people go to a temple and concentrate on that idol, it's the consciousness of all those million people give that stone idol a power. And in every temple, when an idol is consecrated, they just don't put one idol there, you know. They see the vastu, they see lot of things, the direction. Even in temples, in the sanctum sanctorum, the idols are there. It is not just that they just take it and put it there. It is, they have whole lot of rites and rituals and consecrate a certain kind of power into that idol. Like see Tirupati, Guruvayur, Kashi Vishwanath, they all have power in that. That is why they are still existing in spite of all the ravages down history of temples being, destroyed. But those powers still are there. And see, one thing in this yoga of devotion,
Yeah.
from verse 11 onwards, up to the 20th verse, if you study and keep studying those verses, 11th to 20th, in chapter 12,
Yeah.
that explains basically how to pray to God, which way. Simply, you have to just keep on reading it. You will, like Lord Krishna says also, even if my devotee keeps a bowl of water in my name or just puts a flower in my name, for me that is enough. You don't have to do rites and rituals. Just chant my name, Narayana, Narayana.
Yeah. And then he says, well, you can do this. The process is very simple. One can devote himself in this occupation and engage the same time in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yes.
So, okay, why is telling Rama? Like Rama is the Ram?
Yeah,
Okay.
his avatar only.
Okay.
Krishna is, the Krishna and Rama avatars of Lord Vishnu. He is the ultimate Godhead. There are the Lord Krishna and Rama avatars of Lord Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So if we keep on chanting his name in day-to-day life, when you get up, that is why in the olden days they had this thing. Even now, people name their children after gods.
Yeah, now also.
Huh?
Like,
Okay. Huh.
Krishna, I see many Krishna.
Huh?
Krishna, I see Krishna Raj, Krishna Ram.
Yeah. Okay. So the theory behind doing that was that when you call your son, suppose your son is Krishna, you're calling Krishna, actually you're calling the Lord's name, no?
Yeah.
Ram, you're calling the Lord's name. There's a very interesting story of a man who was a terrible sinner. I mean, there wasn't anything that he did not do, bad. But his son, he had a son whom he named, I think, let's say he named him Narayana. Huh? So when he was dying, he was so wicked. Nobody cared for him in the end. He was just dying and he wanted water. So he kept on saying that. He was calling his son, Narayana, Narayana. Lord Vishnu heard it. He said, "Oh, somebody is calling me." And he, saved his soul. I mean, it's just a story. Figurative. But that is why people used to call their children Lakshman, Radhesham, Radha Krishna, because even the girls were given Sita, Gita, all, godly names.
Yeah.
Like my name, Gayatri.
Yeah, Gayatri is like
Yeah,
very...
yeah.
Gayatri mantra. We have, no?
Yes, Gayatri mantra is the ultimate, of course.
Yeah.
But that is why people used to give. But nowadays, in modern days, I don't know, they join names and give them any. I don't know what is the thing behind it. But that is the thing. If you keep remembering the Lord in your day-to-day life, you get up and just say Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ho gaya tumhara prarthana. You are remembering God.
Yeah.
Na? Yeah.
Okay, simply by chanting the holy name Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A devotee of the Lord can approach the supreme destination easily and happily, but this destination cannot be approached by any other process. One should give up all the process of self-realization and simply execute devotional service in Krishna consciousness that will enable one to reach the highest perfection of life. There is no need for one to consider the sinful action of his past life because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. Therefore, one should not try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. Let everyone take shelter of the Supreme Omnipotent Godhead Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life. So here it is, like we were saying, that we suffer because that we carry a baggage of karma. But then if you are chanting Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, you are getting rid of your karma.
Yes, bad karma. All the time. All the time you're getting
But what about if you have good karma? Do you get rid of good karma also?
No.
Okay.
Good karma is always there in your kitty.
Okay. It's a bonus.
It's a
I
bonus.
remember last time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, alright. That's good. That's okay. Okay. So, the love of God is now in dormant state in everybody's heart. And if one who's not chanting or not Krishna conscious, so its love of God is dormant. And their love of God is manifested in different ways, but it is contaminated by the material association. Now the material association has to be purified, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. So basically those bhakti yoga and this practice of bhakti yoga under the rules and regulation with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. So spiritual master, you were saying,
Yes.
right? That could be anybody, Sai Baba
Yeah,
or something.
anybody. Sometimes somebody gives you a book,
Huh.
a spiritual book, and then when you read it, you find that I have all the answers in my life in that. Like for me, it's the Gita. If I have any problem, I just close my eyes, open a page, and I read 2 pages, any page, and I find the answer in it, answer to my problems. So for me, the Gita also is a guru.
Yeah. The only difference is that in materialism, one works for sense gratification. The same work, however, can be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna and the spiritual activity. So basically, any work you do, if you are doing for the gratification of your senses, then it is you're attached to material.
Yes.
But if you're doing for your spiritual work, then it is the spiritual.
Yeah.
You're getting closer to the Krishna
Yes,
consciousness.
yes.
That state.
Yes. So for that is why they say karma. Do your karma selflessly, expecting nothing in return.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do your karma and don't. But no, the human being. If I'm saying, okay, I'm studying so hard, and I want to get good marks. So what is
No,
good?
that is you're doing your karma.
That is your karma.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is your karma. As a student, you have to study, you have to get good marks.
So can you give an example, like you do your work, but don't get attached to the result.
Yeah, but that's what generally we see
But we
as
always
parents.
do everything for result, na? No, what do you think? Like, give me an example.
No, I would say,
Yeah.
like say as parents,
Huh.
huh? Parents, we bring up our children. We bring up our children and put them in the right path, let's say. That's our karma towards them. Don't expect anything back from them. If they in their good karma do something good for you, that is, you have achieved your result. But don't do things because you want something from them.
Okay.
See, and that's
Just
the
do it for your own satisfaction.
yeah, do it because you have to do it. You have brought your children into the world. Look after them, care for them, guide them, bring them up, make them good citizens, put them in the path of their journey in life. Not expecting that in my old age they should come back and look after me. If they look after you, it's their good karma and your good karma. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Even mothers when they feed their children, feed them selflessly, without thinking ki, that child will feed me back.
Okay. All right. So let's see. We have something else. Devotional service in Krishna conscious is the direct method, and it is, however, to be understood that it is recommended for Arjuna. So Arjuna is also doing devotional service to Krishna, right?
Arjuna was devoted to Krishna, but later on in the Gita, I mean, that's very high flown when Lord, Arjuna cannot understand, who Krishna is. He thinks of him as his guide, friend, philosopher, cousin, relation, but he really doesn't know who actually Lord Krishna is. And later on, Lord Krishna reveals to himself his Vishwaroop, his cosmic avatar. And then, I'm getting goose flesh. Then Arjuna realizes that he is the ultimate, he is Bhagavan. And that's where he realizes that whatever he has to do because, it will be in the right path because he has the hand of Lord Krishna over his head, his blessings. But that is very high flown. I mean, I will not be able to, we need somebody who knows
We need the spiritual master.
Yes, definitely we need a spiritual
Okay, no mind.
master.
At least we're trying to understand.
Yeah. You may be reading the Gita for the first time or second time. I have read the Gita maybe 30, 40 times. Even then, I'm still stumbling, trying to find my way, because I have not, of course in India they have lot of Gita classes, and somehow I have not been able to attend those classes. I wish I could have, but maybe when I go back, if there are some classes, I will attend.
Okay. A pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstances, nor he is envious of anyone, nor does a devotee become his enemy's enemy. He thinks that one is acting as his enemy due to his past misdeeds. And a devotee is always kind to everyone, even to his enemy. And nirmama means that a devotee does not attach much importance to the peace and trouble pertaining to the body, because he knows perfectly well that he is not material body. He does not identify with the body, therefore he is freed from the conception of false ego and is equiposed both happiness and distress. He is tolerant and he is satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of Supreme Lord. So he is like equiposed, means whether you have happiness or your distress, like be middle path, that.
Yeah.
So
And also, like, there's that he's not disturbed by bodily discomfort.
okay.
Vivekananda's guru, Parmahams, he had throat cancer.
Oh, acha. I did
Yeah,
not know
yes.
that.
He was a divine soul. But even a divine soul will have, when you are born in a, as a human being, you have to go through pain, all those things. But he never complained about this. He used to always say that Ma, he was a great devotee of Devi, na? He says, Ma will take care of it. I'm not worried about the pain or anything.
So you have to endure basically.
Yeah, even that endurance should be in the service of God.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I think we are coming close, but yes. Actually, because a devotee is always engrossed in Krishna conscious and again engaged in devotional service, all such material circumstances cannot woo him. Generally, a materialistic person becomes very happy when there is something for sense gratification and his body, but when he sees that others have something for their sense gratification and he hasn't, he's sorry and envious. So basically, like we shouldn't be worried like, oh, you know what, she has a Tesla or that guy has a 6,000 square foot with a pool. Just be happy with whatever you have.
Yes.
Don't compare, don't be worried about
Don't
the
be
material.
envious. And, cut down on your desires. You see, the more you desire, I want this, I want that, because she has that, and he has that, then all these bad feelings come, jealousy, enviousness, anger, all these things. But if you're happy with what you have, and be calm in anything, I think it will see you through life.
So just be calm in whatever you and you can also strive for more, right? Is that
Definitely,
okay?
yeah.
But that's a karma yoga.
No, that is karma yoga. You can always strive for excellent, excellence in your work, excellence for your children. That is all karma yoga. There's no harm in it. But don't envy somebody else's.
And then be stressed out. Oh, she has this. I have to have this. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Be grateful for what you have.
Yes. Attitude of gratitude again, as I said.
Yeah. And one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free for contamination, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and engaged in devotional service, is very dear to me. Means whatever happens, be equiposed.
Yes.
And be silent,
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right, I think we have come to an end of our second episode. And can you tell our viewers to like, comment and subscribe our channel, Dhi Atman Show?
Please like and subscribe to the Atman Show, and hopefully both Anamika and me have tried our very best to not only, we are not trying to educate anybody on Gita, we are just sharing a layman's
exactly, we are trying to basically understand like, what is
because we both still are trying to find a guru.
Exactly. All right, bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
We'll meet again.
Yes.
One more session at least in